Oh, this is a good one. This one definitely projects my mood right now. Fuck you. I won't do what you tell me. I'm pissed, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay, it was 4 seconds, but I'm gonna bring that down for now. Bring it down on my mixer. Hello, hello. Actually, I'll leave it up on my mixer. It's been a while, but I'm back. I'm not sick anymore. I'm not sick anymore, I think. And for that, the I think part, I'm going to be keeping it safe. I know this is gonna be a big one. I'm drinking out of a plastic water bottle. It's just to keep everyone else in the house safe. There's a sustainable recycling company by me, whatever. And they're legit. Like they're not, some ship over to China. They make like plastic benches and shit. So I'm fine with using them. Anyway, what do I want to talk about? I am fucking pissed off. I'm sure you can see the camera shaking because the tripod's still on my desk, but I'm pissed. I look away for 4 fucking months. And that was way too long, obviously, because guess what's back? And, well, it's not back. It's worse than before, I should say. Back is a bad term for this. It never went away, but it's become worse, which frightens me. And that is one of my biggest pet peeves. PragerU. I fucking hate PragerU. I very strongly dislike Dennis Prager. I think I have agreed with maybe one point he's ever made. And it was some fucking, 15 years back, he made a good point. I fucking hate that guy. Okay, so let's flip over to my desktop, which I don't think is currently up, but we're bringing it up. Where? Display capture. There we go. Let's bring this down. Okay. Oh, that didn't update. It's fine. We'll deal with that later. This is just one of their videos, but the one that got me was this one. Save your child's mind with PragerU Kids. So I remember a couple of years back. Now, mind you, I think that everyone should be presented with all the facts. I don't think people should ever be presented with one side or the other. I think they should always be presented with all the facts. However, these people, no offense, but the Pragerians, the Dennis Pragerites, like to paint it as them damn lefties are all the only ones trying to indoctrinate our children. Meanwhile, what are they trying to do right now? It's only indoctrination and it's only brainwashing when it's not us, which is, it's almost a logical fallacy known as special pleading. Like it's double standards, but let's be real. It's special pleading. It's essentially special pleading. Because we do it, it's not what they were doing. So I've already seen this video. And I've probably seen most of the other videos I pulled up from them. Mostly I've known them for their religious shit. Because I just, but they do a lot of like ridiculous far right shit as well. And I think, again, I don't agree with one side or the other. I think we should all be presented with every single fact. I think it's wrong to only present one side of an argument. Let's watch this shit.
With family, and you settle in to dine. Your son is watching something, but you think it must be fine. You know it's only kid shows, so you have some peace of mind. But as you eat the roasted goose, your little sport insists.
Hey, Dad, did you know America is racist?
Your
No one said. So the country America is racist. Not the people of America. The country itself is racist. Just so you know, that's what this kid is saying.
mind goes numb, your skin turns pale, and your heart aches with fear. Your child is being filled with lies.
I do like how they paint the kid though, like he's just like brainlessly watching.
You have some peace of mind.
But
as you eat the roasted goose, your little
he's just like brainlessly watching the iPad.
Racist?
Your mind goes numb, your skin turns
Did you
pale,
know that America is
aches with
racist?
fear. Your child is being filled with lies, the babe you once held dear. But in that shocking moment, a man pops into frame.
My
Could it
poor
be George
child.
Washington, here to save your child's brain? He snatched the screen and changed.
So George Washington's coming back 300 years from the fucking dead. I guess 200, but still 200 years from the fucking dead to change your child, yours, not someone else's, yours, your child's iPad.
The something that is true.
Regardless.
It's an app with shows for kids. They call it PragerU. There's content for your child's mind to fight the leftist lies. And if you give your child a chance to watch and think and grow, they might burst forth like Washington, a true American hero. Think better, live better. Visit.
Yes, because I want my child holding a fucking sword at the dinner table. I would love for my child to hold a sword. I remember when I was a kid, if I held a sword, I probably would have been cutting shit. I wouldn't have been, screaming into the air, waving it. I probably would have been finding shit to try to chop up with the sword. Why would you give this kid a sword?
PragerUkids.com for free kids shows, cartoons, and books that teach classic American values.
Yes, classic American values. I can hear the term separate but equal being thrown around, but I'm not saying that they would. I'm just saying I can hear it. Ooh, I can kind of hear it in their future. So most of their stuff, like as I said, I looked up the term Christian because most of their stuff revolves around how Christians are persecuted in this country. They're not. They're the majority. In other countries, Christians might be persecuted, but in this country, in the good old land of the free, home of the brave, no. They are not persecuted. Do not pretend. I'm pissed already. I'm already ready to explode at someone. Okay. Okay. So this is obviously for adults, but the fact that they think that they should have this is, by the way, Fireside Chat is specifically with Dennis Prager. But the fact that they think that they shouldn't teach kids about sex, I mean, that affects children. Let's watch this.
Hi, everybody. Dennis Prager and
Fireside
Chat number 230. You thought that I was going to ask Megan what number it was. but I decided to throw a
I really didn't
curveball.
think that,
And
Dennis.
for those of you outside of the United States, a curveball is a baseball term for a ball thrown that changes direction.
How fucking patronizing. Gee, thank you for the explanation, Dennis Prager. Guess what? Baseball exists in other fucking countries. I'm not going to call him a cunt, but what countries have baseball? By the way, this is in an incognito window, so YouTube doesn't start recommending me this putrid shit. Oh, look at this. Over 100 nations play baseball. I think he just wanted to explain it. Because no one else, except for Dennis Prager, knows what a curveball is. I'm going to continue.
I figure, right? I mean, if you're listening in Bangladesh, you don't know what a curveball is. And I
I think they have a baseball team. Whatever you say, Dennis Prager, is it because they're not white they don't have a baseball team?
Welcome to the Fireside Chat. This is Otto, the remarkable, resilient,
fucking Christ,
non-pompous bulldog.
So he's the exact opposite of you.
How are you, fella?
Well, I don't think Dennis Prager is. Yeah, I guess it would be the opposite of him. I didn't think about that.
Yes, sir. And we'll hope that Otto stays the entire chat. But
yeah, okay.
It's becoming increasingly unpredictable.
Cool. I'm going to speed this up a little because I forgot how slow this man talks. He was in an episode, like very briefly in an episode of Penn and Teller Bullshit, and his old radio segment was shown on it. I forgot how slow he talked.
Unrehearsed, except if I have something that I want to read from.
Normal speed.
I will print that out, as will happen today.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It is unrehearsed. It's spontaneous.
Okay.
For, all the dangers inherent in completely unscripted video or audio. But it's worth it because it's very real, obviously. It's my chance to talk to you about things on my mind and my heart, and for you to ask me whatever you would like. Okie doke.
Well, I'm not the one asking the questions. My question would not be, should schools teach children about sex? Because I already know the answer. Yes, they should.
By the way, 230 is...
I almost can hear what he's going to say, by the way. I can hear him saying that it shouldn't be schools, it should be churches. In which case, the church is going to say, don't.
I mean, that's just 20 away from 5 years. We've been doing this for 5 years? Yeah. That's hard to believe. Every week, no, I might add. Wow.
Yeah, okay.
The power of habit. The power of good habit.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that once. Because I love to talk about personal...
This is 2 minutes of just him spewing nothing.
Stuff, but there's so much macro stuff that I've had to cover in the last 2 years. It's made that
this isn't
possible. All right, everybody. So anywhere. A couple of things. First
look
of all,
at this.
I covered.
Oh my God.
The remind you of the truly, truly, truly important work PragerU does.
Support us.
Life.
Yeah. Okay.
And Western civilization with its program plus you, because often to figure out what's good for the soul.
Yep.
So
okay,
I
there we go.
spoke to you last week about the Russian invasion of Ukraine. I want to just add the following, and please see my column at DennisPrager.com and many other places. Each week it goes up on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And I do discuss the issue of what is in a country's interest, in this case, America's interest, and how often people think that if it doesn't affect their country directly, they can basically snooze it out. just sleep through an event that happens, no matter how much evil.
Do they? I mean, I like every time I've hit the start streaming button on OBS, I've had this fucking deep anxiety about just I don't know. I've had this like deep anxiety about Ukraine and like, should I even say anything about it? Because it's not very obvious. As Dennis Prager is pointing out, it's not very obvious that I stand with Ukraine because...
And how much suffering is involved. I'm against putting in American or NATO troops, but I am for giving Ukraine as much in ways of military equipment as possible.
Well, the former president would disagree. Yeah, the full episode at PragerU. Okay, so we don't even get into the topic of sex ed. Okay, so you know what?
Hello, everybody.
Let me see. Okay, well, this is it's just going to be a bunch of nothings again. It's just some money pit that he's trying to get people to give him some money for. Let's see. No, not Dennis Prager. We want to see sex education. Let's see if they've actually posted a video. Why? What? I'm not even going to touch this one. I don't want to. God. Well, none of this deals with sex education. Oh my God. I can already see that one. I don't know. I don't personally know the statistics on this one, so I'm not even going to touch that. Like I can call him out on fallacies. I can do like a quick Google search right now, but I'm not going to just call him out on statistics except based on a quick Google search. Like fallacies I can pretty much call him out on. But
what were the religious beliefs of the founding?
As I said, most of the shit that I know them for is their religious content. Ooh, not again. Is their religious content. I don't even remember why or how I heard about them. As I said, I like offhandedly, I didn't even mean to realize who Dennis Prager was my last time watching Penn and Teller bullshit. But like out of nowhere, I figured out that this guy was on that show. Anyway, or I mean the guy who this is named after. Dennis Prager. If I haven't said his name enough.
Fathers of the United States. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding this subject, but there shouldn't be.
It's all of the above. Well, yeah, it's all
because
of the
their
above.
Prominence. I will discuss George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and Benjamin Franklin.
They're not the only founding fathers, but yes, they
our nation's first.
I'm pretty sure all four of them fit the four different categories that were just put on screen.
First three presidents, and the man referred to as the first American.
Okay.
All of whom, even if some did not individually adhere to Orthodox Christianity.
I always thought that, like, I've heard him called the first American. I thought that was a pretentious title because the first American is the first person who fired at the British in the American Revolution. The first shot fired at the British was the first American. We don't know the person's name. At least I don't think we do. But whoever that was, that person was the first American.
We're steeped in the Judeo-Christian tradition. Here's what we can say for certain about their religious beliefs.
Were they?
One,
I mean,
all of the founders believed in a transcendent God. That is, a creator who exists outside of nature. Two.
I I don't think that's true.
All the founders believed in a God who imposes moral obligations on...
For some reason, Thomas Jefferson's name comes into my mind when I hear... I thought that... Hold on. Let's look up Thomas Jefferson. Because I feel like he... If I were to... Wait, did they even mention Thomas? Yeah, they did. They did. I thought he was kind of like the watchmaker deist, where he thought that lived outside of the natural universe, but just sort of let it spin, essentially. Religion. I know this is Wikipedia, but let's be real. Wikipedia has real sources that we can go to look it up. And I'm not going to do a deep dive on this shit. Let's see. Baptized in his youth. Well, I have to back up to read. Praising religion. Right, he was, well, he believed in a creator God and afterlife and the sum of religion as loving God and neighbors. That sounds like he's copping out, but like it sounds like a cop out for God is the universe, but that's just personal opinion. If something is something else, why not just call that thing the something else? That's always been my take on people who say that, but it's neither here nor there in this case.
Unhuman.
I'm pretty sure this is he was definitely some form of deist, but I don't know if he was necessarily like a proper like God had effect on. But I'm not gonna make any claims further than what I just saw. Benjamin Franklin, maybe it was Benjamin Franklin who was that. But I thought he was actively an atheist. I guarantee they have religious views. I thought he was like actively and proponent of religion. Hey, I'm a proponent of religion too. But that doesn't mean I think that it should exist in government at all. Franklin organized religion. Franklin's parents were Puritans. Oof, that's rough. Oh, okay. That's fine, I guess. I mean, the liberal Puritan just doesn't sound like an actual term, because Puritans are like possibly the most conservative group of religious people that were ever in the U.S. Like so conservative that they essentially didn't want them in England, if I remember correctly. But it's just Franklin's parents were both pious. Okay. Franklin had a critical impasse. Sunday. Franklin retained lifelong commitment to Puritan values. Oh, interesting. That one I actually didn't know. Devotion to egalitarianism, education, industry, thrift, honesty, temperance, charity, and community spirit. The classical authors of the Enlightenment period taught abstract. blah, 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 blah. It was respect, tolerance, and promotion of... See, that's the thing, is if he is promoting all churches, he's not just... that's not what I meant to press. But like that's showing that he doesn't value one religion over another. That doesn't make him what I was saying, which was an atheist, but it means that he was looking at it from a far more enlightened perspective, in my opinion.
What's up, guys?
I opened a lot of these.
Three.
But the other two, I wouldn't be surprised.
In a God who punishes bad behavior and rewards good behavior in an
spooky dookie. Bad behavior. But what constitutes something as good behavior and bad behavior? Well, they're God. But that one's less interesting than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like some hot take that they were all something that they weren't. Do
you believe that good and evil exist?
This is one of my favorites. I have seen this, but it's been a minute.
The answer to this question separates Judeo-Christian values from secular values.
Do they? It depends on what you mean by good and evil, but we'll continue.
Murder. Is murder wrong? Is it evil?
Yes.
Nearly everyone would answer yes, but now I will pose a much harder question. How do you know?
Okay, woo, my favorite. This is one of my favorite questions. He's going to say, because God said so. I'm going to pose a more, what's the word? A more logical conclusion to this. So, there is a societal, what's it called? A society building thought experiment where you separate yourself from society and you say you do not know where you are going to be placed in this society. Let's just, for the sake of this thought experiment, we'll say your memory is erased and you'll just be released into the society, even though you're the one creating it. Yes, I know it's a huge, huge leap, but just so that you know consciously that you will have no idea where you're going. This is an old thought experiment. I don't remember the name of the guy who originally thought of this. I think it was a guy. But essentially what you do is you go through everything. Do you think slavery is good or bad? Well, I would this is very base rationalism. And we can go through much deeper shit, but this is the most base, rationality you can think of, which is, would you want to be a slave? And the answer that I think exact definition of slavery, I'm talking unpaid, overworked, the whole 9 yards, forced into labor as well. It's not indentured servitude. I don't care how much Dennis Prager wants to call it that. Is slavery good or bad? Well, I myself wouldn't want to be a slave, so yeah, I don't think anyone else would. Being forced to do something I don't want to do, bad. And most people probably agree. I can't even blanket statement that one because I don't think everyone would, but now this shouldn't be done alone, obviously, but it's very good to think about what you would personally be okay with people doing to you. Same thing with murder, though. Being alive is good to most people. Like people prefer, in general, being alive to being dead. Obviously, you have people who have imbalanced brain chemistry, and they convince themselves that it's not worth it. And it's a growing problem in the US, and I've been there. I got help, and honestly, I can say right now, alive better than dead. Anyway, is murder wrong? Yes, alive better than dead. Like, that's it. Just the most base thing. Would I want to be murdered? No. Therefore, murder wrong. I mean, and you can apply this logic to just about anyone, right? As I said, just about. I'm not going to say everyone thinks this way, but I have to look up who thought of this. What the fuck is it? Like, society building thought experiment. Yes. Veil of ignorance. Okay. Yep, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Original position. Like, this is, and it's, okay, here we go. William Vickery and John Harsany. I don't know the second guy. I know the first guy, but I don't remember why I know him. Regardless, this is the thought experiment. Yeah, so you have a veil of ignorance. You have no idea where you're being placed. And it's for impartial judgment. And essentially it's to figure out. Now, I will get to the criticisms because I think it's very important to think about that not everyone thinks the same. But instead of going through this type of society building thought experiment and thinking about it like this is the most base. Again, I'm going to say this over and over again until I feel comfortable with it. This is very base level thinking. Like, this is not like we're getting super philosophical. This is me don't want die, murder bad. Like that's the type of thinking that this leads to. Which is a very fair way to look at it. But Dennis Prager would like us to,
I'm sure,
essentially cop the reason we know that murder is wrong to a higher power, which we don't have to do.
You think murder is wrong, but how do you know?
No, I do know that murder is wrong, but continue.
If I asked you how you know that the Earth is round, you would show me photographs from outer space or offer me measurable data.
Although I don't really claim to know much.
But what photographs could you show? What measurements could you provide that prove that murder or rape or theft?
Wait, what? Where the fuck did the rape and the theft come from? Excuse you? X-fucking-cuse you? Where did the next two... Okay, well, I'll call it I'll chalk it up to clickbaiting, and we'll talk about this. Once again, we go back to the original position thought experiment. Me no want raped. Rape wrong. Me no want people steal me stuff. Theft wrong. Like that's it. It's just basic, like 2 brain cell thoughts. I guarantee before the thought of there even possibly being a God existing, I guarantee that Ugg and Erg were both thinking about this shit too. Oh, Erg stole, Erg stole stone. Ugh, like stone. Anyway, weird stereotypes about 100,000 plus years ago, humans aside, it's just like the most basic level of thought you can think of that would lead you to believe or even potentially know that rape, theft, and murder are wrong. But I mean, like, also, can we just talk about this for a sec? The top two are far worse than the third one. I mean, theft, here's the other thing. It's open to debate whether theft is wrong, right? Like, yes, theft is wrong, but, like, people can, like, at its most basic, theft is wrong. But you can argue that in certain cases it's not. I'm not arguing for any case. I'm just saying that people can argue. And I don't disagree with some of the arguments for it. I don't agree with some of the arguments for it. But, like, theft can be as much as just taking a grain of sand from someone. And it can also be as much as taking a car or taking a house or taking large sums of cash. Can murder be theft? Take someone's ability to live away? Well, I guess you don't gain anything from that, though. Was just a weird shower thought that popped into my head. Let's continue.
Wrong. The fact is, you can't.
Wait. Only rape is wrong in this case?
Wrong. The fact is, you can't. There are scientific facts, but without God,
there are no scientific facts. There are... This bugs the shit out of me. Science doesn't make any truth claims. It makes the claim... Like, it makes essentially temporary claims that are usually backed up with evidence, but they're still open to debate. They have to be falsifiable. Like there has to be a no case for anything in science. That's one of the reasons God doesn't really fit into science. Which is fine by me.
There are no moral facts. In a secular world, there can only be opinions about morality.
Not really. And I've already, like, I've gotten to the crux of this situation already. And, like, we're only a minute into the video. I've already gotten to why he's wrong. I am mean to, like, speed run this one, but I still want to hear his point.
Or society's opinions, but only opinions.
But I just don't understand where he, like, you can classify everything as an opinion.
Every atheist philosopher I have read or debated on this subject has acknowledged that if there is no God, there is no objective morality.
Correct. Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely. I do agree with this. The closest thing we get is the original position argument. Or I say it's a thought experiment. This is the closest we get. But we will continue. Yes, but there is really no objective morality.
Judeo-Christian.
But I have heard people. I actually, now that I think about it, I've heard atheists. I've heard some atheists who are like evolutionary biologists claiming that I have to find something to back this up. But I've heard them make the claims that there is objective morality because it's coded into our DNA over, many generations of evolution. But it's a human-centered objective morality that would help us continue the species. That's like that, but I don't even know if those are the exact words they used or even the exact sentiment. But
values are predicated on the existence of a God of morality. In other words, only if there is a God who says murder is murder wrong. Otherwise.
Right, but just because you say something is true doesn't make it true. I don't.
On the existence of a God of morality. In other words, only if there is a God who says murder is murder wrong. Otherwise, all morality is opinion. The entire Western world, what we call Western civilization.
I'm really like, he's not 100% wrong on this point.
Murder is wrong. Is murder wrong? Otherwise, all morality is opinion.
Yeah, but how do you jump from... Well, no, he's going from opinions to opinion. So, I mean, look, that's not how you make a syllogism, but whatever you want to say, dude.
The entire Western world, what we call Western civilization, is based on this understanding. Now, let me make two things clear.
God.
First, this doesn't mean that if you don't believe in God, you can't be a good person.
That's a first. I'm hearing that. That is actually a first. Usually it's the exact opposite of that statement. Not necessarily with him. But like from what I've gotten, it's usually the opposite.
There are plenty of kind and moral individuals who don't believe in God and Judeo-Christian values.
Oh, okay. So what he's saying is, but they still believe in God. At least that's what it sounds like he's saying. He's not saying that.
But the existence of these good people has nothing to do with the question of whether good...
Now that I think about it, why am I not murdering people? If it's just an opinion to me that that murder is bad, why am I not murdering anyone? Can you tell me that, Dennis? Dennis, please. Please tell me, why do I not kill anyone?
Good and evil really exist if there is no God. Second, there have been plenty of people who believed in God who were not good people. Indeed, more than a few have been evil and have even committed evil in God's name.
Please tell me he's going to say Adolf Hitler, because that's a funny one.
The existence of God doesn't...
Oh, wait, hold on. What did he say?
Second, there have been plenty of people who believed in God who were...
Oh, okay. Never mind. No, he was actually, he's right. Hitler's a great example. I thought I was listening to him in an opposite way. That's my bad.
Committed evil in God's name.
I misheard him the first time.
The existence of God doesn't ensure people will do good. I wish it did. The existence of God only ensures...
I don't. I want people to come to what they believe is, well, I want them to come to a conclusion on their own. But that's just me.
That good and evil objectively exist and are not merely opinions.
Good and evil are just like, he's still going to use these terms, just like all God-fearing, Christian crusaders and, but what constitutes evil? Oh, I accidentally went back. What constitutes good and what constitutes evil? I mean, okay, yes, I believe murder is wrong. But there are instances I can think of that killing someone, not necessarily murdering, but killing someone is justified. One of which would be if someone were to burst through that door right now and, try to put two in my chest. Might not kill me. Probably would. At that distance, it would. But if I were to somehow not die and were able to take that person down, not that my tubby ass could, but let's just say odds against me, I did it, right? Mother lifting car, tubby dude, sprints at like 500 miles an hour after a guy who, in his own home. I'm not going to, leave the premises. But, in that case, it could be justified. Because, like, it's not even, I don't know. To me, it's not a question. I'm not even going to sit here and justify it because I feel like most people are in the same opinion as me. And I bet Dennis Prager would agree with me too. I'm not going to say he definitely would, but I would put money on him agreeing with me.
Without God, we therefore end up with what is known as...
The reason I say this is because the episode of Penn and Teller he was on, I believe, I'm 99% sure it was on gun control. So...
moral relativism, meaning that morality is not absolute, but only relative to the individual or to the society. Without God, the words good and evil are just another way of saying I like and I don't like.
There we go. That's a perfect way to sum it up. Like what is this like absolute truth claim that he's making? I'm still not convinced of it.
If there is no God, the statement murder is evil is the same as the statement I don't like murder.
Yeah, I don't like murder. Murder is maybe not evil, but it's bad. I may not, it's so hard to classify what evil really is. Like, and even at that, a lot of people would say shit like there are tiers of evil.
Now, many will argue that you don't need moral absolutes. People won't murder because they don't want to be murdered.
Damn, he hit me with the original position counter argument. Okay. He counter argued me 5 years ago.
But that argument is just wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking! I love it. I love it. I mean, okay, that is a good point, but
Hitler, Stalin, and Mao didn't want to be murdered, but that hardly stopped them from murdering about 100 million people.
Yeah, but again, they knew what they are. At the very least, I can say that Joseph Stalin and Mao both knew what they were doing was evil because they both tried to cover it up. Hitler didn't. I don't think what he Those two at least tried to cover it up. Hitler did not. He did everything very publicly, and it wasn't a huge secret, especially after 1939. But these two, the two people on the right, definitely knew what they were doing was wrong. And I think right here, he's about to claim that none of them believed in a God.
It is not a coincidence that the rejection of Judeo-Christian...
Which is not true. It's true in the case of these two, but the one who actually, like, just didn't care and thought he was doing good, funny enough, Judeo-Christian values.
People.
Like, you can look, it's fucking a Google search and a half away. Right? So we look on Wikipedia. Views on religion. Like, it's pretty well documented that he was Catholic. I don't know if he stayed Catholic, but let's see. So states that is it really debated? I thought, like, in his account, Hitler viewed the church as an important politically conservative influence on society. So that sounds pretty fucking Christian to me. Any pro-Christian public rhetoric contradicted his private statements, which described Christianity as absurdity. Yeah, but how do you know what he said privately? Hold on. I actually want to see the reference on this. How do we know what he said privately? Wait, what the fuck? Where is this? Did I see it flash and I'm just missing it? Let's see. Nope, that is not what I wanted. I was hoping it would just link me right there, but... Where? Hold on. Oh, there it is. There it is. Hold on. I feel like I'm going to have to pay for this. Meanwhile, we get Wolfenstein. Let's see. Table Talk. Searching the web for the best textbook prices. I don't need a textbook, but it's okay. We'll look. Holy shit. No, thank you. I'm not paying $160. Okay, we'll take it at its word at this point. As much as I, don't like just taking things at their, like, face value. We'll do it at this point because I don't have access to that. I'm not paying, what was it? $166. It's probably in half decrepit condition anyway. March. Hold on. Use on. Oh. There we go. Speer wrote that Hitler had a negative view of Himmler's mystical notions. Hmm. 'Interesting. 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 'Interes Wait. There's an article on it. So publicly he was pro-Christianity. Public and private evolution of Hitler's beliefs. Believe it or not, my grandmother was not Hitler Youth, but she was part of the female it might have technically been considered Hitler Youth, but she was part of like essentially the female version of Hitler Youth. I should ask her some questions on this. Because, like, I should actually probably interview her. Because she probably has some stories to tell. I mean, she was, 6 when... 6? 7? She was a kid when Hitler invaded Poland. And she lived in Germany. So I'm curious. How much she could tell about, like, growing up around that. Skeptical. Yeah, but didn't the other, like, the last place said that his hold on, that's a contradiction to, hold on, views on, is that not, anti-clerical father. I read it completely wrong. Okay, never mind. But, like, here's my question. How is Dennis Prager making the connection? Actually, that's a good point. Now that I think about it, he's trying to say, like, okay. So if there's, let's think about this, right? If there's good people who don't believe in a God, and there's bad people who do, and let's just say, all four opposite points, or the other two opposite points exist, because they do, but doesn't that mean that the whole sentiment of a God has no weight on this situation? Am I completely off base here? Like, that should mean that a God has no weight on whether someone is good or bad, which to Dennis Prager should also mean that there's no weight for whether murder is right or wrong based on a God. I think we just busted his statement there. But tell me if I'm wrong. I think that just completely busts it.
It is not a coincidence that the rejection of Judeo-Christian values in the Western world by Nazism and communism led to the murder of all these innocent people. It is also not a coincidence that the first societies in the world to abolish slavery, an institution that existed in every known society in human history, were Western societies rooted in Judeo-Christian values.
Okay, one thing I will mention at this point is Dennis Prager should take a look at Exodus. I think it was Exodus 24. Like this is just the original Exodus. I don't remember which Exodus. It was definitely close. It was in the 20s. 20 is the 10 Commandments. It was probably right after. It might have been 22, but oh yeah, the 613 commandments. 20. Let's see. They probably use the term in no, okay. Let's just use like the original text version. Why do there have to be so many fucking versions? New English translation. Is the MEV like... Is the I think the MEV is like the closest English version. I don't remember. It's been so fucking long since I've like read a single passage out of the Bible, but quite literally in one of the Exodus passages, don't take me at my word for this, because you can look it up, but one of the Exodus passages talks about owning slaves. So, and you know what the New Testament said about that? Nothing. It was a nice slap in the face. Slaves, obey your masters.
And so were the first societies to affirm universal human rights, to emancipate women, and to proclaim the value of liberty.
Actually, I think women played a larger role in some ancient societies than they did today, but we're going to look that up as... Are we? Like, I can't even... this one I can't remember. But I thought that some women in... Like, I don't even remember what... This one I would actually have to do some deep research on instead of just like surface level Google searches, because I feel like I'm just going to spew something that's completely off base. But I don't think that the United States was the first large amount of rights granted to women.
To emancipate women and to proclaim the value of liberty. Today, the rejection of Judeo-Christian values and moral absolutes has led to a world of moral confusion. In the New York Times in March 2015, a professor of philosophy confirmed this. He wrote, "What would you say if you found out that our public schools were teaching children that it is not true that it's wrong to kill people for fun?"
I've never heard a school teach that. Never. Any school that I've been to hasn't taught that. And if any school did teach that, there would be a huge fucking uprising from the parents.
Would you be surprised? I was. The professor then added, "The overwhelming majority of college freshmen view moral claims as mere opinions."
No, like... They may be borderline opinions, but again, I have heard of... I have to find the exact snippets I'm thinking of, but I've heard evolutionary, which Dennis Prager probably is allergic to, but I've heard evolutionary biologists talk about how morality is almost like, at least humanistic and human-centered morality is based, like, almost encoded in our DNA. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that. I have to look it up. I will look it up.
So then, whatever you believe about God or religion, here is a fact. Without a God who is the source of morality, morality is just a matter of opinion. So, if you want a good world,
I can't listen to this anymore. I really can't.
Death of Judeo-Christian values should frighten you.
I can't. I hate this.
I'm Dennis Prager.
I'm clear. I was gonna go through some of the others. This is funny. What's even funnier? This looks about right. Hold on. Quite literally, not even a month before Good Omens Season 1, which, by the way, if you didn't know, in Good Omens, it's the first thing. It's not a huge reveal or anything. But God is a woman. And I just love that came out less than a month before Good Omens came out. Oh my God. But like these are like the quality of PragerU videos. Why even atheists should do here's my thing. I think that people should come to their own conclusions. I don't think we should indoctrinate our kids into a religion or the non-belief in a religion. Lack of belief in religion. Both of them are close enough. Look, we have to be careful with our words because they do get taken out. Like everyone's words get taken out of context at some point. And we also have to be careful with them because not everyone is going to know what we mean. And that's why I try to be careful when talking about this shit, because otherwise it's just going to be me. It's going to turn into me apologizing for using the wrong language for like 40 minutes straight. But it's been a while since, like, I swear it's been at least 4 months since I've looked at this drivel. Like it's just garbage, but this pissed me off because they claim the same shit. They claim that them damn lefties are doing the same shit. I think that we should hear all sides of an argument, not just one or another. I don't, it's just not right. So I'm going to say this only once. Fuck you, Dennis Prager. Okay, now we're done. Yeah, we're going to move on to Cyberpunk. I'm still pissed. But yeah, we're moving on. I'm going to start booting it up and everything. I do have to work on getting my sensitivity right for the mouse because I'm having the cycling per game now. So, for example, blue is for Fortnite, which I played yesterday and got a victory royale. Yeah, I played a game off stream. My voice has been on the mend, so happy to report that. It's almost back to where it was. But I am going to use red for Cyberpunk. Yellow is for Halo because it's the highest DPS option. And everything in between is for other shit. But in the meantime, we're going to bring up Cyberpunk. I'm loading it in. We've got Spotify on mute, but that'll be coming back in a second because I do have to take a short non-commercial break. Okay, I am kind of back. We are going to there we go. Gonna get the game capture going. Okay, so last time we were just clowning around. We did nothing of value last time. But the time before that, what were we doing the time before that? Shit, it's been so long. Ooh, gotta bring that desktop back up. Also gotta bring my, I'm doing this completely different now. Before I was running nothing through my mixer, but I figure there's a reason I'm doing it now, but not gonna talk about that. The pump up. Gotta get a little pumped.
This has been your man Stan. Join me for another day in our city of dreams.
It's definitely that. Maybe not dreams, but definitely nightmares. Let's see. I think I'm gonna have to load. I don't think this was the last place I was. Was it? No, this was, yeah. Yep. Oh.
My guest tonight is Lieutenant Sarah Kokoski, spokeswoman for the NCPD. Hi there. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Ziggy. Thanks for having me.
I hope you made it to the studio without any issues. No carjackings or drive-bys along the way?
No. Fortunately, the streets of Night City are getting safer every day. We've seen recorded homicides drop from 7,000
there we go.
a year ago to just...
Hold on.
Gotta get this a little closer, but I think this part of the pole got a little fucked up at some point. Actually, I think the whole thing got fucked up at some point. Jesus.
Over 700 rounds fired in that time.
Ooh.
Where are the gunmen now?
Oh, yes. That's right. Because I left... Holy shit. Hold on. There we go. This is too far anyway. Hold on. Why the fuck is the... Give me 1 sec. Gonna drop the mic. No, that's not even gonna... Not even that's gonna do it. Jesus. Oh, wait. I see why. Idiot bonobo. Oh, now I know where not to keep that. Okay. So the time before that, I just remembered, we saved Evelyn with Judy. Yay. But last time we were just clowning, which we might do this time too, but I would like to also progress the story. Woo! Sorry, person. Murder's wrong. Eh. Boom. Oh! Oh, that, yeah. Murder's wrong. Oh, fuck. The car's stuck. The car's stuck. Oh, I'm gonna die. Gonna die. Over here, over here, over here. Eh. Okay. Yeah, you did. Slide on this pimp cane. Pimp cane only run. Wow. Did I lose him? Oh wait, NCPD crime. Oh! Oh! Hold on, this is not enough DPI. Give me a sec. Holy shit, my mouse is about to die too. I'm looking at the thing and it says 4%. I guess I forgot to put it on the charger last night. Okay, we're gonna set this to like 2000. We'll see where that brings us, because like I have the sense all the way down. Oh, that's way too much. Okay. 16. 1450. Oh. Oh wait, pimp cane only. Oh. Okay, pimp cane only isn't gonna work. Holy shit. Honestly, okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm feeling like shit right now. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't think I was gonna feel like shit today, but I do. So here's what we're gonna do. How long have I been? Yeah, I'll be back in like an hour or two. I need to collect my brain. Like it's all over the fucking place, but I will be back. See you soon.